Ready for a platformer that doesn't want to hold your hand, but instead shoves you straight into a pit of spikes. Welcome back to Veteran Game, your source for bold reviews, deep dives, and brutally honest gaming opinions. If you're a fan of challenge, clever game design, and maybe a little pain, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. You're gonna need it for this one. Today we're venturing into Through the Nightmares, a game that asks one question: how many times can you die before rage quitting? Developed by the Sandman team, this indie platformer is equal parts dreamlike and nightmarish. Think Super Meat Boy with a bedtime story twist. Here's the setup. You play as the Sandman, the classic bringer of dreams, but tonight's assignment is a little darker than usual. Kids are trapped in twisted nightmares by Morpheus, the king of bad dreams. Your mission? Jump, shrink, and stomp your way through a gauntlet of childhood fears to save them. It's simple, it's classic, and it's hard. Let's talk about the world. Through the Nightmares absolutely nails atmosphere. Levels channel those late at night. The shadows look a little too alive vibes, with twisted forests, spider-infested suburbs, and gothic castles that would make Tim Burton jealous. The art style is low poly but incredibly effective. Everything's just a little unsettling, and the contrast between the golden Sandman and the gloom around him is always striking. You want visual variety? You got it. Just don't say I didn't warn you about the spiders. Seriously, arachnophobes, brace yourselves. The music, surprisingly banger. The soundtrack is not just good background noise, it's synced to the action. Hazards move to the beat, so mastering a level sometimes feels like learning a rhythm game. When it all clicks, you enter this perfect platforming flow state. You die, respawn instantly, and go again, each time a little better. It's pure, distilled one more try energy. So, how does it play? Through the Nightmares is a precision platformer, which is code for this game will eat your patience for breakfast. Sandman's main trick is size changing. Shrink to fit through gaps or land softly. Stay big for faster running and higher jumps. There's also a stomp move, good for smashing breakable floors or dropping fast through hazards. That's your entire toolset. No double jumps, no fancy wall runs, no attack button. Just your timing, your reactions, and the Dream Guardian's will to keep going. Every level is packed with insta-kill hazards, spikes, saw blades, fireballs, crumbling platforms, and more spiders. Touch anything and it's back to the start. Unless, of course, you've set down a flask checkpoint. But here's the catch. Flasks only have 3 uses, and if you die a 4th time, it's all the way back to the beginning. So do you use it for safety or flex for those completionist checkboxes? Risk versus reward, baby. And yeah, you're gonna die a lot. But this game doesn't hate you even if it feels like it. Each death teaches you something. You memorize the beat, you learn the trick, you get a little further. There's a bit of Celeste here, a little Super Meat Boy, maybe even a dash of old school Donkey Kong Country. If you love learning through failure, you'll feel right at home. Now let's talk difficulty. This game does not ease you in gently. From the early levels, you're getting slapped around by surprise spikes, traps that move with the music, and platforming sections that demand split-second reactions. The learning curve isn't a curve, it's more of a straight cliff face. But that's kind of the point. Through the Nightmares is here for people who want to be challenged. Boss fights, kind of. You'll get gimmick levels, chase sequences, escape sections, and showdowns with Morpheus himself. Here's where the game gets a little divisive. These levels are more about speed and less about careful planning, and sometimes they feel unfair. Miss a cue or land a millisecond too late. Back to the start. These moments can break the flow, especially if you were finally getting good at the regular platforming. They're not game-breaking, but be ready to swear a little more than usual. Let's hit the checkpoints and collectibles. Every level hides a flask and a handful of collectibles, usually tucked away in absurdly dangerous side routes. Completionists. This is your curse and your reward. Collectibles even add items to each rescued kid's room and photos that flesh out the story. The temptation to go for just one more collectible is real, and it's always harder than it looks. Performance? No complaints here. The low poly art runs smoothly on any halfway decent system, and respawns are instant. No time for anger to build, just get back in and die again. Controls are tight, and outside of the occasional input hiccup, it's all up to you. So, is it all good news? Not quite. The uneven difficulty spikes, especially on those chase and boss levels, can feel cheap even for veterans of tough platformers. Sometimes you'll die not because you messed up, but because you couldn't possibly know what was coming. Expect to replay some sections more times than you'd care to admit. But here's the deal. When you finally clear that impossible segment, it's pure gaming satisfaction. Through the Nightmares is a labor of love. Every death, every triumph, every new trick you learn, it's all building toward that moment when you look back and realize you just conquered a nightmare with skill alone. Should you play it? If you crave a challenge and love precision platformers, absolutely. If you're the type to throw your controller at the first sign of trouble, maybe stick to Animal Crossing. For everyone in between, if you're even a little curious, Through the Nightmares worth a shot. It won't change your life, but it might just make you a better gamer. And hey, you'll finally know if you're a Dream Guardian, or just another Sandman lost to the darkness. Have you faced your own nightmares yet? Let me know your worst death count in the comments. And if you actually enjoyed the chase levels, tell me your secret. For more tough love reviews and gaming deep dives, make sure to subscribe to Veteran Game and hit that like button if you survived this review. Now go get some sleep. You'll need it for this one. See you in the next video.